Hi guys, Bob Tyrant here. Today's video tutorial is all about Google AdSense and specifically about increasing your click-through rate on your Google AdSense ads or CTR, so getting more clicks on those ads. And that's important obviously because the more clicks you get, the more money you're going to make. Now, if you've been following my rants around the internet on the different places that I write and guest posts, you probably know that I'm not a huge fan of AdSense. And the reason for that is pretty simple. I naturally don't like the idea of sending away readers and traffic for a few cents. There are a lot of situations where a better idea would be to capture email subscribers and then market to that list. Then you've got an ongoing way to reach people. With AdSense, you're often just losing readers for 5 or 10 cents. That being said, AdSense makes a lot of money for a lot of people. It paid my rent for a long time, and there are some sites where it just works well. An example of that is something like a video cable website. Nobody wants to sign up for email updates about video cables. It would be so boring. So AdSense ads work well on those kind of sites where you're getting a lot of traffic and there's no real way to capture the traffic. And it can make a lot of money. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through a few things I've learned over the years about increasing click-through rate that will hopefully help you guys make a little bit more money. So the first thing we're going to do is start here on Google AdSense questions, and they've got this page about heat maps. So this is a heat map here. You might have seen this. I've written about this before. So basically what a heat map is it tells you using color where the hottest areas on your site are. So this is where people's eyes fall the most and where people click the most. So you can see here we've got our primary content. This is where the articles are. This is the text and the pictures. What we're seeing here is the orange, the darkest orange is the hottest area. So you can see this is probably right under a headline. Where you maybe put the picture at the start of the post and your text. That's the hottest area. That's where people's eyes are naturally. And you can see that it's hot here again at the bottom of the post where perhaps people are looking for something to do after they've read the article. And then again in the sidebars and just below the navigation bar, this is right where people's eyes are. Now, in my experience, this heat map is perhaps a little bit outdated, perhaps a little bit not as effective as it could be. One of the reasons is, this is quite a light area here in the right-hand sidebar, but on all of my websites, I've got a network of websites, a lot of them using AdSense. This area works really well. And the thing about that is we're used to scrolling with a right-hand sidebar. So a lot of us, before, mouses with these scrolly things came along, you can hear me using the scrolly thing, we had to take our mouse all the way over to the right-hand side of the screen and use the thing on the side. So our eyes are naturally trained on the right-hand side. So this area is still quite hot. So while I agree with this primary content red spot here, I don't really agree that this is not a hot area. It can be a hot area. Obviously this area here, I see a lot of people put ads down here in the sidebar below the main content, and these never perform. I've never seen them perform anywhere. So it's best to ignore that. But I'm not sure about that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over a few sites that I've found that are optimized extremely well. The first one we're going to look at is this site here, buyprams.com.au. So this is just a pram review site. It's very simple. So what we're going to do is click one of these ads in the sidebar here, and we'll go to an inner page. Now, the first thing you can see is that here's the ad, in case you missed it, right under the heading. And you'll see that the font of the link and the font of the title here are the same. They're bold and they're Arial. I think it's probably a size 12 or 11. The second thing you'll see is that the link and the text is the same color as the background. Now that goes a long way to branding, because one of the things you want to do with Google AdSense ads, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is you want to blend it into your content as much as possible so that people don't know it's an ad. And I know that sounds a little bit deceptive, but people are so blind to ads that if they know it's an ad, they won't click it. So anyone who tells you, that you've got to use bright colors and you've got to make it stand out like a fishing lure, in my experience, that doesn't work. The best ads are the ones that are blended to the content that look like further resources that you're providing, and this does this extremely well. Now, it's right under the heading, so it's exactly where people are looking. The mums or dads reading this by Pram's website will be reading about, what to look for when buying a second-hand pram or stroller. And then you've got these resources straight underneath it. The other thing is Google AdSense, the program doesn't let you use pictures, so you can't place a Google ad beside a picture to encourage it. Back in the day, I remember maybe 5 years ago, people would put these little pictures, 4 pictures beside the ads, and it looked like it was part of the ads, and the click-through rate went through the roof. Google obviously cottoned onto that pretty quickly. It actually looked like this. It looked like this on the side here, except there was 4 of them, and then these were the ads. And it worked really, really well, but you can't do that. But here you see, this is the image for the post. This is the image that gets used for every post. If we click on another one, I'm sure he's got, yeah, so you see you've got the image of, this is the IQ Targo stroller here, and the AdSense ad. So the eye is naturally drawn by both the title and the picture. So that is a very well placed AdSense ad. That would have a very high click-through rate. Now, the second one you see here is over here in the sidebar. We've got a link unit. And as you can see, the link unit is the same font again. Arial, maybe it's 12 or 11 point. And these link unit links are the same as the fonts up here, and very similar to these ones down here. Now we can see that these ones here, these links, match the ad units here, and that's a high plus. That's a very good thing to do. But these ad units, I don't think you can make them bold, so they're in a very good position. People are looking in this area for where to navigate next, and these links here are in a prime position. The last one I want to show you on this website is at the bottom of the post. Now this one's an image ad. Maybe we'll just refresh it to see if it comes up again as an image ad. So you can see here now, I've refreshed it, that the ad is exactly the same as the one at the top. It's got the same text color as the background, so it's branded to the website. The links are exactly the same as his links here. So, he said you can price and purchase this pram here, and that goes probably to an affiliate link. And then the links in the Google AdSense ads are exactly the same. Now, he's not breaking any of the terms of service here. He's separating the ads. He's not tricking you thinking that it's part of the content, but it is blended with the content very well. That is a really good way. This is one of the best I found as a way to optimize your AdSense ads. Now, what I'm going to do now is take you over to DPS, or Digital Photography School, and this is Darren Rouse's cash cow. This is, Darren Rouse, the pro blogger. This is his biggest website. This makes a lot of money, a lot more than pro blogger. It gets a huge amount of visitors. He used to have a site meter on here somewhere, and it's thousands and thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people visit this site every day. It's huge. So he's got a few AdSense ads in here. So if we just click through to one of these sections, you'll see that, now I know Darren doesn't make most of his money from AdSense, but I think he does pretty well. So you'll see here, the first AdSense ad, this one here in the sidebar. Now, Google, our heat map over here, told us that this was a cold area. It's only a light yellow, but Darren's design is done in a way that the eye is here. You've got the navigation, the way you move around the site is here and here. Once you read a title, advice for shooting in Utah's national parks, and this social media comment bubbles, the Facebook button, it's all around this AdSense ad. So it is well placed. People will look there once they've done, if they've read a paragraph or two and they don't want to go on, this AdSense ad's in prime position. Up here, Darren's got this AdSense ad. This is the 728 by 90 leaderboard. It's in a good spot, but I don't think it's optimized very well. And I wonder if Darren, I don't know, maybe Darren will watch this, but I wonder if he's done this on purpose to differentiate it from his navigation. You see he's got his navigation here, your cameras and equipment, and it takes you to a different section. It's a beautifully designed website. This is one of the best websites on the internet, I tell you. So maybe he's made this a white background so it doesn't confuse readers too much. But, if he wanted to increase the click-through rate on that, he should blend that white with this light brown color there. And the same in the sidebar here. He's got down here, if you go down the sidebar, you see each one's got a different color. So is green for the cameras and equipment, and then this is light brown for post-production. It'd be good if the AdSense ads had a similar color, so it followed a sort of certain sort of color scheme, but I think that works extremely well. Now the last one, if we click the post, so we go into the single post, and we scroll down to the end, we can see Darren's got here, and it's gone to an image ad again. I don't know if image ads do very well, but we'll give it a refresh and see what we come up with. Let's have a look. It's an image ad again. Anyway, this is the end of the article. So you finished reading and now you're looking for something to do. You might want to bookmark it, or you might want to leave a comment, or you might want to keep reading some more. So you might want to read something else about this particular topic. And you've got these popular articles here. And then next to the popular articles, Darren's also got an AdSense ad. And this is particularly good when it is a bunch of links, because it blends in quite well with these little links here. And he's not tricking you. They look different. They look, the color is a little bit different, but it's in a very good position. So, a little bit of a trend here, guys. You put AdSense ads, if you can, under your titles in the prime position here, and you put them at the end of your content where people are looking for something else to do. That is like really hot spots. That's the stuff that works. Let's go over to John Chow, johnchow.com now. The .com mogul. Now, I don't read John Chow very much because I find that a lot of his posts are just about food nowadays. I could be wrong, but anyway, he's got this AdSense ad here embedded in the content. So right under the title, you've read a little bit of the content, there's an AdSense ad here, and each one looks different. Some of them aren't AdSense ads, I don't know, but I think normally they are. And then again here, the same as Darren Rouse did underneath the post when you're looking for something else to do. Now you can embed that, so instead of having it like this Prams one where it's just the content is forced underneath it, John Chow's got it wrapped here, and you can do that with an AdSense WordPress plugin that inserts it automatically for you. So guys, that's some tips to increase your click-through rate. Blend your ads with your content, so make the link color and the style and the font the same as either your sidebar ads or the links within your sidebar links, or the links within your post, or the header of the title. So if you've got a colorful title, you incorporate the color of that title into your link somewhere. Make the text here, this background text that elaborates on what the ad is, make that a light color that people don't focus on. You don't want to emphasize it too much. You don't want to make it dark black. Make it the same as a background if you can. That is a really good way to brand it to your website. And keep the ad simple, no bright colors. We want to keep it so it looks consistent with the website. If that doesn't increase your click-through rate, I don't know what will. Stay away from practices where you chunk all ads together. You have 3 across the top here. People know what it is. You've got to create useful content, and you've got to make your navigation useful at the same time. But on my websites where I do this kind of thing, I usually experience about a 5 to 10% click-through rate. I don't know if I can tell you that. Maybe I can't. I think that's against the terms of service. But it is definitely the way to go. So I hope that helps. Thanks, guys.